Members, before we get into regular order 4, a minute ago I mentioned a dear friend of all of us. He wasn't out in the chamber, but he is now. Y'all see Rep. Walter Thomas, almost said Rep, but Walter Thomas been limping around. All right, Walter. Rep. Echols. Representative Echols.
This time, Representative Echols moves to call from the calendar House Bill 264. House Bill is amended by the Senate to be concurred in.
Without objection.
House Bill 264 by Representative Echols provides relative to pharmacy benefit managers, the rebates, examination of records. Mr. Speaker, members, there were Senate committee as well as Senate floor amendments.
Rep. Echols.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move we concur with the Senate amendments, and I'll go through these individually, and they're substantial. House Bill 264, there are rebates, there are broad definitions within the amendments that were sent back over from the Senate. Some were sent out of Senate committee, some were sent off the Senate floor. One provides a broader definition of rebates. Another, expanded regulatory authority for the insurance commissioner. Another is audit power from a perspective of what you can see within the books of a PBM, their confidentiality protections, regular reporting obligations by PBMs. It creates a fund, so if a PBM does something nefarious, this fund is set up for violations to accept money and for enforcement and consumer refunds. There's an anti-fee protection for pharmacies. There's a claim area remediation clause, a rebate allocation requirement, granular compensation reporting. There's a manufacturer price increase notification that in the event a fee or a cost of a drug goes up more than 15%, there's a 30-day written notice by those wholesale price hikes before they can happen. There's AG and enforcement authority within the bill. There's advisory council expansion in the bill, several other technical notifications. But at the end of the day, when you look at this bill and where we started to where we ended up, there's stronger oversight tools, there's protection for pharmacies, there's consumer benefit assurance, and deepened transparency. I'd be happy to answer any questions on the Senate amendments.
Rep. Hughes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rep. Echols, just curious. I know yesterday we passed a bill in this body that would prohibit a PBM from owning a pharmacy. Did that amendment make it into your bill by chance?
That amendment is not in this bill. Representative Miller's bill was an extraordinarily strong bill and a statement. I think the governor supported that effort. I think if you look at the hostile acts that PBMs have been able to take advantage of both independent pharmacies, consumers, hide money, no transparency, that bill would have been a shot across the bow to the industry to say, we're not going to do this anymore. Our consumers deserve protections. But no, that this bill provides regulatory framework, provides, I'll call it bumpers, if you will, to protect both the consumers, to ensure there's transparency in pricing, and to eliminate a lot of heinous practices that PBMs commit.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your work. I appreciate you fighting for the consumer. I'm really disappointed that Chairman Miller's amendment that further fights for the consumer didn't make it in, but thank you.
Yes, sir.
Rep. Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Okay, so just a recap. This bill makes some modifications to rebates.
It provides transparency within the rebating schemes that PBMs use. It ensures that the rebates go back to the consumers. These are broad strokes, but right. That's essentially what it does.
And it prevents steering?
It absolutely prevents steering.
All right, and how about the spread pricing stuff?
Eliminates spread pricing.
All right, look, I think it's a good bill.
Also effective rate transparency, and again, there's 10 or 12 other nuggets when it comes to both the transparency and putting the dollars back towards consumers' pocketbooks versus being funneled to a big health plan or a big PBM.
No, look, I think this is a good bill. Thank you. And this is, just to be clear, these amendments were negotiated with all stakeholders, weren't they?
Absolutely.
Okay.
PCMA, several PBM lobbyists, both the drug manufacturers, providers, independent pharmacies were all at the table. And I have to commend Senator Bass for his open and fair process to bring all stakeholders in. Whether you like the amendments or not, or what we came through this process, he did it in a fair, open, transparent, communicative process. So yes, there was robust dialogue in this from where the bill started in the House to what it ended up coming out in the Senate.
All right, thank you.
Rep. Chasson for a question.
Rep. Echols, quick question for you. Is there any pharmacy benefit financial incentive delinking?
So there's only broad-based language about a delinking.
Okay.
I would love to have seen a stronger amendment within the bill that was true delinking. I think the two major caveats that we've missed on this bill are, one, what Representative Miller was trying to do, and two, some true delinking language that disallowed them to, well, again, hide profits.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Rep. Echols, you have a right to close.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I'll be brief.
Take your time. I heard Rep. Villio ask for you to take your time, so.
Let me clear the dais here. First, I want you to know today the message that we send, at least with one step in this bill, should echo beyond this chamber. The message is the people of Louisiana come first, not the profit margins of billion-dollar corporations that have hurt Louisiana consumers for a long time now. 264 is more than a policy change. It's a line drawn in the sand between those who have abused a system in the shadows and the people who've lived with the weight of it. This bill for independent pharmacies, the ones who stayed open when the lights went out, when the storms rolled in, when corporate machines tried to squeeze them out of existence. They've taken blow after blow from PBMs, clawbacks, pricing manipulation. But they stood tall. Our independent pharmacies stood tall. I want to thank them. Stand up. Today is a giant leap forward, and we keep our promise to you to try to fix these problems. Dustin Miller, you stand up. This guy fought like hell. A statesman from across the aisle. It's been a pleasure serving with you and working through these issues. We're not done. I think we're just beginning, but this opens a big door for us to go through. I mentioned before Senator Bass and his staff. He's got a phenomenal team, and they played a vital role in the complex set of amendment sets that we brought before this bill, from transparency to actually effective policy that are going to change this for the future. I also have to recognize people that came before us. Senator Freddie Mills, he fought like hell for benefit reform and PBM reform for years and years and years and chipping away at it, and you just have to. And I want to thank him for carrying that torch from a very early time. Now I want to clear up some misinformation. This process has been transparent. It's been public. Everyone, as I mentioned before, PBMs, PCMA, insurers, national drug chains, manufacturers, they knew what we were doing all along the process. And I credit Senator Bass for keeping that process open. Every amendment visible as he moved his instruments on that side, and we bring it back to the House on this side. But as you all know, there was a little bit of a misinformation campaign. CVS, to you. One of the biggest PBM-linked corporations in America sent out mass text messages to state employees attempting to influence legislation, using information tied to contracts that expressly forbids that type of political influence. This morning, bright and early, I had a vibrant conversation with Attorney General Liz Murrell, and she is committed to me to pressing forward with charges for these illegal acts, and I thank her. When you send out hundreds of thousands of messages, it's a violation of terms of your state OGB contract. And we'll hold them accountable. There'll be penalties. And hey, if we get a few bucks for every one of those million texts that went out, maybe we can fill that fund that we're about to approve. So let me say this plainly. The microscope is on, the shadows are shrinking, the games are over. The profiteers, the hidden middlemen, the health plans that coordinate with them, we're watching. To the billion-dollar empires who sent the hit pieces, the misinformation, and the lobbyists to twist arms, you lost today. To the people of Louisiana, we stood with you, not with them. This house is not for sale. This legislature can't be bullied. Because when it comes down to it, folks, we choose the people of Louisiana. And I got to close out with a little bit of a quote in the words of Huey Long. Every man a king may have been his cry, but today, every pharmacist, every patient, every small town family trying to afford their medicine, they're the kings and queens of this reform. We brought the crooked system into the light, we cracked the walls of secrecy, and now I raise the banner of fairness over a wreckage of their lives and people's lives. I respectfully ask you to vote for final passage of House Bill 264. Let's finish what we started and make history for the people of our state. Thank you.
Rep. Echols moves to concur in the Senate amendments. Many of you favor vote yea. Those opposed vote nay. Madam Clerk, open machines. Members, vote machines. Members, vote machines. Members, are you through voting? Members, are you through voting? Clerk will close the machine. 100 yeas, 0 nays, and the amendments stand concurred in. Madam Clerk, open the machine for co-author. Members, vote machine for co-authors. Members, are you through voting? The clerk will close the machine. 67 co-authors.